Okay, hey guys, so thanks for joining us for our Sunday night power planning session. We are already halfway through the month. On one hand, I feel like it just started. On the other hand, I'm like, is it August? But it's the 17th of May. So what I want to do before we get started is my favorite thing to do that we've all started doing here in the last couple months, hopefully together. I want you to look right now and we're going to figure out your rate of run. Where are you for the month? Where are you set to go? So you're going to go to your cloud. You're going to find your volume, like all of your volume, you and your team's volume. You're going to take that number and divide it by 17 because it's the 17th day of the month. So that gives you the average that you and your team have been doing. And then you're going to take that number and multiply it by 31 because there are 31 days in the month. That number that you are now staring at is what you are on track to do if you keep up the pace that you're on. I don't know what number is you're looking at. I don't know what number you want to be looking at. Only you do. So this is your number. It is meant to motivate you, not tear you down. If you're looking at that number and it is way better than you thought, then it is time to set your goals higher. If it is way lower than what you thought, it is time to take a look at what you're doing on the day-to-day and up your game. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. The only way to grow your business is for you to grow it. So that number, that rate of run number, I personally am having a lot more success mentally, which then in turn is creating more success with my team and myself by focusing on that number versus my rank. Because it's very easy to get caught up in your rank number and just focus on that number, and your brain just sometimes can't go past it. If you've been focused on 12K for so long that you're like bored with the fact that you're focused on 12K, then stop looking at that number and start looking at your rate of run, because you may blow your mind. You may be like, wow, this rate of run shows me at 16K. I never even thought about 16K. Don't hold yourself back. You know, I could go on and on and on about it because we've talked about it a bunch before, but I just want to make sure you guys are looking at your rate of run. So again, you take your volume that you're at today, whatever day of the month it is, divide it by how many days have happened, and then multiply it by how many days are going to actually be in the month, and that's your rate of run. All right, so a little bit of housekeeping. I don't know if anybody knows the answer to this for sure or not, but I want to make sure that I say this loud and clear. Memorial Day is also Autoship Day. So I'm going to guess that Lavelle is either going to choose to send auto ships out early or out a day late. I don't think they'll be processing and then sending them out on a holiday because I would assume people would have the day off. So it is super, super important that you get on contacting your auto ship people. The earlier, the better this week, because if something comes out and they decide to ship things out a few days early, that could be Friday. So don't wait because a lot of people will probably have an extended weekend. It's going to be like the weirdest 3-day weekend for people who haven't had jobs in 8 to 10 weeks ever. I don't even know, but you know what I'm saying. So it's the 25th is Memorial Day. That is also typically our auto ship day, but I want to make sure you understand that Lavelle will most likely go early or a day late, and I want you to make sure that you're prepared with your customers. So I'm going to share with you really quickly a message that I screenshotted it, so I'd be prepared. It is a message. It is super short. It is not polished. There's no fancy words to it. But the other day when I was kind of in a hurry and I was like, I have to get in touch with my auto shippers, I just typed it up and then I copied and pasted it to all the people who were set for an auto ship. And you know that moment when you send it and you're like, oh my God, please keep your auto ship. Like I had that moment. I always have that moment every month. But you guys, every single person for the 15th auto ship, not the 5th, and who knows about the 25th for sure yet, every single person wrote back and they either upgraded their DFT this month or they changed their flavor. So I'm going to tell you my words real quick. It says, hey, how original. Hey, my report shows your auto ship is set for the 15th. And then in parentheses, I put Friday because I feel like a lot of people don't know what day of the week it is anymore. Are you ready to try a different flavor shake, or do you want to change your DFT to a different formula? Question mark. Done. In. That was it. That's all I said. Hey, I've got a report that shows you're getting an auto ship. Do you want to change your flavor, or is it time to up different formula DFT? That is it. From that message, I got things like, what other DFTs do you have? Or I got things like, I think it's time to try that burn one that I've seen you talk about. Or I think it's time to try, or no, I'm sorry. The one girl said, you know, I've been so stressed out lately. Thanks for the reminder. I totally forgot about my auto ship. And I was like, oh, so we talked about her stress levels. I mentioned Black Label, and that's what she's trying this month. So it's through the questions and getting these conversations. And I know we harp on this every week, but you guys, I'm going to keep harping on it. The more questions you ask your customers, the better you're going to be able to help them, because what you do for a living is you help people. You provide them with a solution to their problem. Okay? That is what you do. You cannot help someone solve their problem if you don't know what the problem is. All right? So ask the questions, be simple, be short. You and I, we love to talk about Thrive. I mean, well, I guess at least I do. I think you guys do. Your customers are not the same. They're customers. They've got other things going on in their life. So, simple, short, quick. But that was that. I've never had such great success with a message because I think I overthink the messages and I get a little too wordy. So when I just said, hey, your name's on my report. What do you want to, I didn't say, what do you want to do? I gave them 2 options. That's the other thing too. I want you to pay attention to that. I did not do it because I'm smart and a genius. It's just what came out of my hands that day. But I gave him 2 options. Do you want to change your flavor, or do you want to or change your formula of your DFT? I didn't say, do you want to cancel? Do you want to pause? None of that stuff. I just said, here are the 2 things I'm thinking you might want to do. So keep that in mind. Make sure you are talking to your auto shippers this week. And I would say the earlier the better, because you guys, as stuff is opening up, like who knows, by Wednesday of this week, people may be leaving to go someplace for Memorial Day. I'd say if people are able to start traveling, they're going to start traveling because everyone is sick of being home. Okay, so we went over Ready to Run, went over auto ships. Okay, so as you know, my power plan is a little bit different than the ones that happen through the week because I kind of look at the whole week. And with it being a holiday weekend, for people who have been trapped inside and now possibly can get out, I want you to understand that the more activity you do earlier this week, the better, because you are going to start losing people's attention by Thursday, probably. I would say for sure by Thursday, people are going to be barbecuing, sun tanning, hopefully getting on boats and whatever it is people want to do. So make sure when you're planning your week out that you go ahead and pad. If you're the type of person who spends 30 minutes a day working your business, I'm going to encourage you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to up that to an hour. And then probably over the holiday weekend, I'm hoping, guessing, thinking there might be a promo from Lavelle. Paul and Jason, if you happen to ever watch this, buy 2, get 1 would be awesome. But anyway, beggars can't be choosers. So that, you'll obviously have a reason to reach out should we get a promotion like that. But your day-to-day conversations, you're connecting with people, you really need to do that early on in the week. And you guys, again, it's super simple. How was your weekend? If you are looking at your Facebook at all, you are probably seeing a lot of seniors graduating in the most unique possible ways. One of our school systems is going around with administrative people on a school bus, and they're pulling up to their door and they're having a little one-on-one celebration in their front yard. Some people are having, like some of the schools are doing like parades through town. So just pay attention to what's going on. But then after you pay attention, act like you missed it and say, wow, what did you guys do to celebrate the graduation this weekend? What are you doing this upcoming weekend? Again, there's a holiday coming up. Ask people what they're doing. People want to tell you what they're doing. So when I'm looking at planning my week, again, I'm going to bump up my activity early on in the week while we still have people's attention. And then that will also free up some space for me over the holiday weekend to focus on a promo if it comes out. And you guys, guess what? If a promo doesn't come out, you own your own business. You can have a promo. I would encourage you over the next few days to think and come up with your own promo for Memorial Day. Have it on the back burner. And if for some reason nothing drops from Lavelle, pull it out. We can't rely on other people to run our business, right? So have that ready to go just in case. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about like reaching out to people through social media. I've had some very interesting conversations in the last couple of weeks. I think a lot of you know, and if you don't, I'll give you some background. My husband and I own a personal training facility. It's literally a brick building. You know, they call it like brick and mortar. It's literally a brick building. People literally come to us. We are shut down. We have gotten so much support and care and interest from people who are like, are you guys gonna open again? When's that happening? How are you gonna do it? We're so excited, yada, yada, yada. On the other end, we are opening another business that involves garbage bin cleaning. And we have had a ton of support from people who are like, this is so exciting. We're so excited for you. We're so proud of you. It's going to be awesome, blah, 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 blah. But then right there in the middle, I sell vitamins. And people act like I'm trying to take their money and get them involved in a cult, right? Do you see that? It's so weird to me, the highs and lows that we go through with our particular industry. So what I've been thinking about is all the work that we do for both of our other businesses and how we treat our business with Lavelle. And so I know if you guys listen to Kayla Fox Mondays or Wednesdays and Fridays, and hopefully you do because she's really freaking smart. She talks a lot about her core four. I'm going to tell you about what they call the 4 pillars. And this is just like general marketing, but it's something really important to think about when you're doing your social media. So let me backtrack. I'm sorry. Every single morning, this sounds like a Thrive commercial, but every single morning before I get out of bed, the first thing I do obviously is take my Thrive. The second thing I do is I do my Instagram story. And here's the thing. If I look like death, I will use an old Instagram story on the morning where I woke up and my hair looked okay, decent, you know, like bedhead, don't care. Because you know there's a difference. Some days you wake up and it's literally frightening. And other days it's not that bad. So remember, when you take the time to do an Instagram story of like, say, 5 a.m. taking your jumper cables, save that. It will come in handy one day when you wake up and you have allergy eyes, or maybe you wake up and you just are busy and don't have time. So save those things. But that's the first thing I do. Yes, I know people who talk about high performance habits and la 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 will say, don't touch your phone first thing in the morning. And that is great. I think that works really good for people. But the fact of the matter is, for me, once my eyes open, it's game on. So I literally wake up, I sit up, I take my Thrive, and then I either take a picture or a video in bed, not weird, you know, but you know what I mean. Or I use an old one and I get my Instagram stories that my phone automatically saves those to my camera roll. So then I just go to Facebook and share them. I don't have Instagram automatically share it to Facebook because they say that doesn't work as good. So what's a couple extra buttons, right? So I get that done. And then again, before I even get out of bed, I immediately go into all of my Facebook groups. And when I talk about Facebook groups, there could be a customer group. It could be, if you have like I know I've encouraged you guys in the past to pick something you're passionate about and start a group on Facebook. I have one called Tammy's Tribe. I think I've had it for like 4 years now. You know, Sonia, I know you were starting a Harley one. Sandra has one about inspiring women. Here's the beauty of having your own group. You control it. You can bring people in. You can tell people to invite people, but you control it. So I make it a point every single day. Every single group I'm in gets some sort of post. Are they always amazing? No. Some mornings I am just not smart and I would just have to find a quote or a picture and I'll share it. Other mornings I'm like a little witty and I'll bust something out. But the point is, every single day I put a post in that group or that page. And so if you guys don't have a private customer group for just your customers, you're missing the boat. Now look, you're not going to have a business page. You're not going to have, I forget what it is. There's stuff against compliance, but there's no reason that you can have a customer group. In your customer group, do you talk about Thrive every day? Oh my gosh, no. Every day you're going to go in and make a post. Maybe it's a holiday and you tell people Happy Mother's Day. Maybe it's a Wednesday and you're like, let's focus on water this week. Maybe it's a Friday and you're like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing for your weekend? Just engage with people. That's all you got to do in those groups. Engage, engage, engage. But again, I do all that before I even get out of bed, because once I get out of bed and my day gets started, it's hard for me to stop and get creative again, I guess. I don't know. But so that's how I like initiate my day. So I don't necessarily do a Facebook post morning, noon, and night, because in the morning, I probably make 3 or 4 plus my stories before I get out of bed, like I just told you. So it may be noon or 2 before I make a post, but I'm having a lot of interaction during the day because I've already made posts. And again, my posts, a lot of them, I ask questions in my posts in these groups because the more questions you ask, the more people talk. So I want you to think about when you do take the time to make a Facebook post, or let's say you do have a customer group or you're in some kind of group, there are 4 pillars of marketing that you need to think about. The first one is education. You don't need to know it all, though. I don't want you to think that I'm like, okay, you better go learn everything you can about Thrive. That's not it. But there's nothing stopping you from Googling the importance of hydration. What does vitamin B12 do for your body? How important is sleep? I mean, you guys don't even have to, you just pick a topic. You know, what's the best form of cardio? And again, you're just going to be sharing an article or sharing a graphic or sharing some words. And you can even say, I'm no expert, but I just read this and I thought it was interesting and I shared it with you guys. Just every, once a week, throw in something educational. Let people know that you are learning about health and wellness, and in the process of learning, you're sharing what you're learning. So that's a big difference from showing up and being like, okay, I'm Professor Nutrition, and you have to go XYZ, right? You're going to get a lot better feedback if you say, oh my gosh, why am I having so much trouble drinking water now that I'm stay at home all the time? What are you guys doing to make sure you get plenty of water? You're going to get way more interaction than hopping on and being like, did you know if you don't drink enough water, you're going to shrivel up and die? People want to tell you what they know. So as you're learning, share what you're learning. Secondly, the second pillar is be compelling. We talked about this before. People can sniff out a fake in a heartbeat. There are times when I will make a Facebook post and I'm uncomfortable because I'm maybe telling a little bit more than I want. But those are the posts that people actually get to know me. They start to trust me, and I get a hell of a lot more interaction with those than I do with, I don't know, just here's a picture of my puppy, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Having pictures of your puppy also helps people get to know you. But when you share something you're struggling with, something maybe you've been thinking about, something maybe you failed at, maybe just a genuine post about something that you truly, truly love, people will connect with you. And I think we've all known this for a long time, but surely you've seen it even more so now. People need people. Humans need connection. And if the only way you ever know somebody is through the internet, not to sound weird, but you can make some really good friends through the internet. Like, it's maybe a little slower than somebody that you get to go hang out and have cocktails with after work, but you can really get to know people, but only if you're open and honest with them and they can truly get to know you. So make sure when you're doing your stories, here's something that I have changed in the last couple months, and it's hard still to this day. I am speaking into the camera and showing my face a whole lot more on stories, which means my hair's not always done. Sometimes I have a zit right on my chin. The dogs might be barking. It's not the same thing as like a beautiful, polished, fabulous, filtered photo with a quote, but it's really me. It's really what's happening. And those stories are getting so much more interaction. People are taking the time to type and either answer my question that I asked or make a comment about something that I said. So, and if you think about it, when you're going through people's stories and you see a quote or you see a pretty picture, you're like, yeah, you just kind of keep hitting the button. But when you see someone's talking, especially, I don't know, on my phone, if someone's talking and I haven't turned on the volume for stories, I don't hear anything. So I literally have to like go back and turn on the volume, and I pay attention when someone's talking about something. Now, if they talk about it for 6 or 7 frames, no, I'm out. But a couple, I'm in, I'm good. So keep that in mind. But put your face in front of people. Take the time to put your face in front of people. I know selfies are awkward. There's that moment where you're holding your phone out and you're smiling and you're home alone and you're like, this is so weird. Selfies will get way, way more interaction and comments than a picture of a plant in the corner. If you're out digging in the dirt, people want to see a little dirt on your face, mud on your gloves. That's the red, blotchy, sweaty face. That's what they would rather see than the picture of the dirt. Okay? So think about that. Put yourself out there. I know it's scary, but guess what? If you want people to buy from you, they need to know who you are. Community outreach is something that I don't think that we do. This is the one thing that really got me today, that I was like, you know what? As much as I tease people about the fact that they want to support our other businesses, but then like look at me sideways about Thrive, our other businesses, I'm very open about community outreach, about sharing what's going on in our communities, about sharing other businesses, about partnering up with things. I don't really do that from my Lavelle business. And so shame on me. So I'm going to make it a point to start sharing something community related or something like small business related where I feature another small business. Now it doesn't have to be like, I was trying to think of how this would work. Like if I went out to lunch someplace, I could easily have like a selfie with my little DFT showing and maybe my meal from whatever. And I could say, you know, now that I've been thriving and I'm trying to take so much better care of myself, when I came to Royce today, she helped me make the best salad that was low on calories, whatever. I don't know, like, you know, get creative, but give other people shout outs, because that works. There's two things that happen there. Number one, it takes the focus off of you and it makes you giving. And it lets people know that you do support local and that you do, like, you know, you're in your neighborhood, but it's also cross networking. So if I get on there and I say, my favorite restaurant, the Broadway Barrel House, just added a something to their menu, and it's perfect because I've been trying to eat better, and I tag that restaurant in that, I am now getting their people and my people. So think about that. Like, how can you connect your Lavelle business to your community? Because here's the thing, like when you open a regular business, one of the first things you do, whether you want to or not, is join the Chamber of Commerce. And you immediately start connecting with other businesses, boosting other businesses, sharing, rubbing elbows. And so think about your Lavelle business the same way. Who could you be boosting up with your network? And then lastly, it's communication. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying about stories. There's a saying, and I'll be nice about it, but everybody has an opinion. Do you know the saying I'm talking about? Everybody has an opinion. And I'm the same way. I have an opinion. I love when somebody asks me what I think about something. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I need to be quiet. But they ask me, so I'm telling them, right? Ask people's opinions. What's your favorite flavor? Where do you want to go this weekend? Do you think for Memorial Day, is it more important to have burgers or hot dogs? I don't know what questions to ask, but I'm just saying, ask questions. Do polls in your stories. And if you want to do a video, like you could even just do a live video on your Facebook someplace. You don't need, because the poll thing is really only in stories right now or in like groups. But if you have a customer group or something like that, take advantage of that. Like get people talking. Like I just love to ask people, what's your favorite form of cardio? Wow, you will get so many opinions. Or what's your favorite? What do you think's, you know, I don't know, what's better, chicken or steak? You will get tons of people's opinions. Do you really truly care if they like chicken or steak more? Probably not. But that's okay. They got to tell you and tell the world. But I will say, when you ask a question like very general like that, if somebody writes back and says chicken, I will take the time to say, really, how do you prepare it? Grilled, like get them talking again, get them to talk about stuff, because something as simple as that could turn into someone saying, you know what, we fry it a lot and I know that's not good for me, but it's just the way I've always done it. And then you can offer a healthy recipe, which then builds trust. Like you got to be on your toes, guys. You got to ask questions and get people to share stuff with you, because it's through sharing that then you can say, how could I be of a benefit to them? She just said the only way she likes to make chicken is fried, and she knows it's not good for her. Maybe I can find a recipe for oven baked fried chicken, whatever. So again, you're helping somebody. If you want to help somebody thrive, I bet you're going to have to help them do something else prior. Right? Like think about that. You're going to have to help them do something else prior. You're either going to have to help them feel confident about something. You're going to have to either help them laugh about something. You're going to have to either give them an idea somewhere. But once you're the helper in that person's life, you're their helper. they're going to start reaching out to you for more things. So anyway, those are the things that I try to think about when I'm doing either polls, posts, stories. And you guys, here's the thing too that's really nice about how I get up in the morning and do my posts and my things before I get out of bed. Once I'm out of bed, my rule for myself is that I need to be in Messenger 10 times more than I'm in Facebook. And I know for me personally, from the phone, it's a little tricky. But I can get Messenger to pop up and not be on Facebook at all. And on the computer, I can for sure be on Messenger and not see Facebook at all. So if you find yourself trying to do Messenger, but you're scrolling, go to just Messenger. Get into Messenger. Search the keywords like we've talked about. Search the alphabet. Type in A. Who's popping up? Who haven't I talked to? Because I think, first of all, you need to be too busy having conversations with people to be scrolling Facebook. And if you find yourself scrolling Facebook, that's when you need to say, who on here can I start a conversation with? Because it's the conversations that lead to customers. Scrolling, not so much. And then one final thought, really quick before we get off here. Oh, and I need to pull up the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sandra says, I'll do a selfie with my wonky eyes. And Joe says, search the emoji you've set for your group chats. Yes, if you guys haven't heard that yet, Kayla talks about it a lot. Like if you have, maybe you can come up with an emoji that you pick for potential customers and put that in front of their name. You could put it for new customers and put that in front of their name. That way, when you're trying to say, okay, I want to sit down today and send something to all my potential customers, you can search for that emoji and all of those combos will come up. It's a really good way to kind of group people. And then obviously, if somebody goes from a customer to a promoter, you're going to switch their emoji. Will they see it? Yes. Just tell them you're having fun. It doesn't matter. No one's going to be like, why did you change my emoji? And I blanked on what I was going to say now. I totally forget. Wow. Huh. I don't know. I thought it was important, but now I can't think of it. Okay, so hit me with chat. What's going on with everybody? Anybody have any questions? Anybody try anything new this week that they're like, wow, that was amazing? Start filling up chat for me. Also, while I have you guys here, before we get off of here, I'm going to be honest, and she's not on here, so I hope it doesn't hurt her feelings. I really love listening to Kayla. I'm not as big of a fan as the Monday morning Kayla because it's about mindset motivation, and usually by the time she's on, I've already done some of that. But the Wednesdays and Fridays where she dives into Thrive and running the business, it's totally worth being on there. I do know it's early for a lot of people. There is a power planning session in your team every single day of the week. I don't know that they're all recorded necessarily, but I think a lot of them are. And you guys, it's 30 minutes where you can get a lot of your work done for the day. They will literally say to you, okay, time for birthday reach outs. Okay, time for Autoship reach outs. Okay, time for conscious comments. Okay, time for Messenger. I try to just give you ideas to get your brain swirling so you can start thinking about structuring your week. So I don't think you need to be in trainings all day, every day, but I do think that you need to get your mind straight every single day. So if that's, some days by the time I get on a power planning, I've already done my day and I might be doing something else, but listening to it for maybe something I hadn't thought of, because there's so much knowledge on these teams that you will definitely pick up something along the way. Sandra D, you are chomping at the bit, I think. I just saw you. Did you have a question?
No, I wrote it in chat, but I said do the rate of run every day because it goes right along with selling yourself short. Like, I've had my goal at like, okay, I need to make sure I'm here. Well, right now my rate of run is showing almost $6,000 higher than where in my mind I was trying to get to. So do the rate of run every single day. I mean, it took me a while to figure out what the formula was, but do it every single day.
Yes, I totally agree. Thank you. I didn't see that pop in chat. TJ says, I tried the mail out samples from Lavelle for the first time earlier this week and I had 3 folks bite that I not talked to in a minute, but just randomly messaged them on Wednesday and no post office. Yes. If you've ever taken the time to build your own trial packs and take them to the post office and go through the whole thing, it's a pain in the butt. The ones that come directly from corporate are amazing and you can do them literally from your chair. I know the thing I thought about really quick. Oh my gosh, I only got 5 minutes. Okay. I had some people reach out to me earlier this weekend and they were like, hey, so-and-so has ghosted me. Hey, so-and-so is having trouble with this, and hey, so-and-so did that. And I was like, all these things you're talking about, I don't see them in a group chat anywhere. I don't see where this person is telling you that they don't feel well. I don't see where this person hasn't responded to something. And they were like, well, they haven't responded. I said, fire up their original group chat. If you have somebody ghosting you that has a trial or whatever, fire up the chat. And when I say fire the chats up, I don't mean go in there and be like, hey, yo, why'd you ghost me? What's going on? How about something like, how are you doing? How are you doing drinking that water we talked about? Just start the conversation back up, but keep it in the chat. If you aren't using your upline chats, you're working too flipping hard. And like, that's the beginning and the ending of that statement. If you are not putting, don't ever send somebody a trial. Don't ever let somebody sign up as a customer. Don't let anybody, like, here's the thing. People will probably, let's say they start or they get their trial, they'll try to private message you and be like, yeah, but I was dizzy, or yeah, but my belly hurt. Immediately respond to them in the group chat. Go back and say, hey, Sandra, I know that you just messaged me and said that your stomach was hurting from your child pack and you're on day 2. I really want to see what my friend Tammy has to say about that. Don't ride this alone. You can beat a dead horse, but if you put somebody in the upline chat with you, for whatever reason, it's a magic pill and that horse will come back to life. Okay, so make sure you're connecting people. Yes, and all, yeah, okay. So Olivia is saying always have a chat with trials. Olivia had a stranger reach out to her. She wanted to do a trial. We both had a gut feeling that this girl was a little bit not on the up and up. Sure enough, she has taken Olivia's 3-day trial. She's bitched and moaned because she didn't feel like it was a full 3-day trial because Olivia had a half a dose for the first 2 days, and she's blocked us both. She's just out there scamming people trying to get free stuff. So it happens. It sucks. But the fact that we did it together, I guess, is better than Olivia having to do that by herself, right? But use upline chats. Okay, we're down to the last 2 minutes. You guys are the greatest. I hope this helped get your brain thinking about how to do when you do spend time on social media, make it effective, not scrolling, and then things to talk about in chat, because Messenger is where you're going to be making money for sure. All right, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.